morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest on the Zoom today is Mr. Tim Gadbury with Piattran. Mr. Gadbury, good to have you. How you doing?
Hey, good morning, Seth. Good. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for making time for us. Glad we could make this work and get Piattran on the show. And I know that Piattran, folks may have heard, is going to be kind of the new transportation service in DeWitt County. But before we dive into that, Mr. Gadbury, tell us about Piattran. What do you do? Where, obviously, Piatt, I assume Piatt, that means you're in Piatt County. So how about some of those things?
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, we are a county transportation entity. We are public transportation. We are a door-to-door demand response. That just means, it requires calls and scheduling rides ahead of time. Piattran has been around for about 43 years. I think we started back in 1982. Mm-hmm. I haven't been here that long, but the transportation agency has. So. We've got 21 vehicles total right now. We were awarded 7 brand new vehicles this year through the CVP program through the state of Illinois, which we were extremely excited about. They've all been labeled and are just waiting to hit the roads. So total 18 buses and 3 minivans. We do have 17 employees, so we are a somewhat small transportation agency. We operate basically from 6 o'clock to 5 o'clock, Monday through Friday. And we are extremely excited to come into DeWitt County. All of our drivers, all of our employees know just how important public transportation is for the residents of Piatt County. Mm-hmm. So when the opportunity came about to be able to expand our services to come into DeWitt County, it was a no-brainer for us. The last thing I would want for anybody is to depend on public transportation and not to have it.
Sure. Well, tell us, Mr. Gadbury, who would be contacting you? Where would they be requesting to go? What does that look like for an individual? What does Piattran offer in terms of those things?
Sure. Well, like I said, we are a public transportation agency, so anybody can ride. We take people to doctor's appointments. We take people to the library. We take people to the grocery store. Basically, whatever they need. And what we ask is every rider. We do require what's called a rider intake form. Mm-hmm. That is something that's available. You can find it on our website at piattran.org, or you're welcome to call the office. We can mail them to you. The number at the office here is area code 217-762-7821. Mm-hmm. Our phones ring from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day. But yeah, once we get that rider intake form filled out, we get folks put into our system. And then we do require 24 hours notice for a ride. We have a fantastic call out system that people can receive a phone call at 4 p.m. the day before for a reminder for the next day. Mm-hmm. We also have a call out system that is a 15-minute on the way call. So the 24-hour notice is really, really important, because if we try to start taking same day rides, it can affect everybody else's schedule. Right. And we try to stay on time. Sometimes it's, inclement weather can slow us down a little bit. The trains here in DeWitt or Piatt County are notorious for putting us a little behind. But other than that, like I said, our goal is to be there on time when we're scheduled. So yeah, that's why we require the 24-hour notice.
Sure. Well, let's dive into Mr. Gadbury. Piattran is, like we mentioned, coming to DeWitt County. So with that said, what is, where does this change stem from? So many folks familiar with Showbus over the years. Now it's going to be Piattran. Speak to that a little bit. What happened, for Piattran to come to DeWitt County? Give us a little background there.
Well, I'm not 100% sure why there was going to be a vacancy in DeWitt County. I just know that I received a phone call from IDOT, Illinois Department of Transportation, probably last July. And they informed me that as of July 1st of 2025, DeWitt County was going to need some local transportation agency to step up and take over the transportation. So again, knowing how much our community depends on it, knowing that Piatt County and DeWitt County, we share a border with each other. I know we already have the DeWitt Piatt County Health Department. I think there are several different agencies amongst the two counties that already work together. It just seemed like a simple decision to say, of course, we'd be happy to pick it up.
So what does this mean for Piattran? I mean, do you need additional vehicles? Do you need additional workforce? You know, you're taking on 7,500 more people in this with this service here. You know, what does this change mean for your agency, and what does that look like?
Well, you know, I'll be honest. It's a mystery at this point still. I'm not for sure what the demand is in DeWitt County. I'm excited to find out. We have hired a couple extra drivers already to prepare for July the 1st. Again, receiving the 7 brand new vehicles 2 months ago was a godsend. It was amazing. We had received 9 new vehicles since I have started back in 2011 up until the 7. So to get 7 at one time was perfect timing, knowing that we're going to be expanding. So the plan right now, and I'll just be honest and upfront about it, we are going to send 2 buses to DeWitt County every day. We are picking up a service agreement with an establishment up there in Clinton, where we're going to be taking riders to and from work every day. And then the rest of the day is going to solely be servicing the residents of Clinton, all of the small towns around, Lane. We will go to Farmer City. And in the past, I know that Show Bus did have a schedule for residents of DeWitt County to go to towns north and south, such as Bloomington and Decatur. And we have had a lot of questions about that. So I want to assure people that we are going to continue to provide that same service, that same opportunity. And we are going to stick with basically the schedule that Show Bus had. So hopefully it makes it a smoother transition. I know that Mondays they would take residents to Champaign. Tuesdays and Thursdays they would take riders and residents to Bloomington. Wednesdays and Fridays they would travel down to Decatur. And we are going to do the same thing. Now that's not to say that we couldn't take somebody to Bloomington on a Wednesday or a Friday, depending on the demand. But ideally, the schedule will be, again, Champaign on Mondays, Bloomington on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and Decatur, Forsyth, Mount Zion area on Wednesdays and Fridays.
Okay, sure. You may have said it and I missed it. I apologize. When does this take effect in DeWitt County?
It starts Tuesday, July the 1st.
All right. So July 1, Piattran in Piatt County, or Piattran in DeWitt County, excuse me. For folks that wonder, Mr. Gadbury, you know, to become maybe familiar with your service and, you know, just kind of those sorts of things. You know, I don't know how much of an online presence Show Bus had or whether it was phone numbers and that sort of thing. But for folks to kind of prepare for this change, are you directing them anywhere specific, whether it's social media, the World Wide Web, to call? What's your guidance here for someone that wants to become familiar with Piattran and how you operate to get familiar ahead of that July 1 transition?
Yeah, we are actually using a marketing firm out of Champaign, and we have been using them for several years. It's Clannon Marketing, and they do an amazing job for us. And I just actually received an email this morning to confirm and to review. There will be some flyers coming out in the mail, probably within this next week, advertising Piattran. There is a page on our website, again, that talks about how to schedule the ride. They are able to go online and fill out the rider intake form. All of that information is available on our website. Our fees are available on our website. Our hours of service are available on our website. Our calendar is available on our website. So again, they do a fantastic job maintaining that for us. Everything anybody would ever want to know about Piattran is right there on our website.
And that website is?
It is piattran.org.
Spell that for us if you don't mind.
Yes, it's Piattran.
All right, very good. So check that out, and that change takes effect, on July the 1. Mr. Gadbury, I tell you what, let's break here, my friend, and come back with some more on, maybe what this change means for your agency and those sorts of things. We'll talk more about specifics of folks kind of getting the hang of Piattran and all of that. But again, do you have social media at all where folks can follow along if they're so inclined to there?
We do have a Facebook page as well, yes.
All right, follow along on Facebook. That is Tim Gadbury, Piattran, our guest on the Zoom. More to come with him on the morning show.
WHOW. Contact your county farm bureau. Let's check the markets now on the RFD Radio Network. I'm Jim Taylor. Steady trade for corn and beans, and wheat trading double-digit higher. July corn up 1.5, 4.33. September corn up 4.5, 4.28 and December corn 4.43 up 4.5. July beans down 1.25, 10.72 3/4. August beans down 1.5, 10.74 3/4. November beans up 3/4, 10.68 July wheat up 15 3/4, 5.64 3/4. September wheat up 15 1/4, 5.80 3/4. July bean meal 285.50 up 40 cents. July bean oil down 17 cents, 54.62. Livestock trade, August feeders 302.47 down 87 cents. June live cattle up 45 cents, 223.70. July lean hogs 112.50 up 85 cents. Energy market, July crude oil down 83 cents, 74.01.
I'm weatherology meteorologist Derek Height with a significant weather update brought to you exclusively by ServPro of DeWitt Counties, your fire, storm, and water restoration specialists. A tornado watch continues until 4 p.m. this afternoon. A tornado watch means that conditions are favorable for the development of severe thunderstorms over the next several hours, with some storms producing tornadoes. In addition to the threat of tornadoes, very large damaging hail and strong straight-line winds may accompany those storms that do develop. Storms can pop up quickly, so stay up to date on rapidly changing weather conditions and be prepared to take action if warnings are issued. A tornado watch continues until 4 p.m. this afternoon. Stay tuned for additional updates. I'm meteorologist Derek Height.
Here's Clinton Save-A-Lot owner Dave Jackson on Inflation 3.0.
The rate of increase has slowed down. That doesn't mean inflation and prices have gone back to where they were. Not 8%, not 10%, double. So an item that was $1 in 2020 is now $2. It's not going back to $1. What you are seeing is maybe that item's at $2, it might go up to $2.03, back to normal 1.5% inflation.
Save up to 40% on your food bill at your Clinton Save-A-Lot. And as Dave always says,
hope to see you soon.
Shane here from Highway 51 Exchange, just south of Clinton. Let us service your lawn and garden equipment for spring with our quick turnaround and service specials for free pickup and delivery. Click our icon on DeWittDailyNews.com for details.
DeWittDailyNews.com is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police blotter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
Your friend in Central Illinois,
Once again, a good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest on the Zoom today is Tim Gadbury, Executive Director of the Piattran, our guest on the Zoom. And Tim, as we talk here for this morning, talk me through, you mentioned you're going to have 2 buses rolling through DeWitt County on a given day starting July 1. About how many calls a day can 2 buses make for DeWitt County? What is, again, kind of what does that look like? How about those things?
Well, I guess it all depends. Like I said, we're going to be up there early in the morning providing transportation for Encore, which is a facility up there. It's a thrift store. I've met with Stephanie up there, and a fantastic people. It seems like an amazing organization. We will be providing transportation for their employees to and from every day. So both of the buses that are up there will probably be pretty busy until about 9:15, 9:30. But our plan after 9:30 to start will be one of those buses will be running back and forth from Bloomington to Decatur to provide that transportation for doctor's appointments, any medical appointment that somebody may have out of DeWitt County. The other bus is going to stay right there in town, and we can provide, 15, 20, 25 rides a day, depending on where folks want to go. And then everything is going to be kind of a trial and error for us. This is something definitely new. Once we find out that the demand is much more than 2 buses, then we will make adjustments. We will hire more drivers, and we will send more vehicles into DeWitt County every day.
I hope it's okay to ask this. Is Piattran a nonprofit service?
We are. Yes, we are.
Yeah. Who are you funded through?
We are funded through the state and through the federal government.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. So with that said, is there the capacity to do those things, hire more staff if you need to, and all of that?
Yes. We run off of a fiscal year, so we run July 1st through June 30th every year. Knowing that we were coming into DeWitt County, I had to submit my budget back in February, March to the state of Illinois. I purposely kept money in the budget set aside as a contingency, as you will, so that if we need to hire more drivers, we do have the funds available.
Gotcha. Now, so you mentioned reevaluating as you go. How often do you plan to do that? And how fluid of a situation will that be?
It'll be weekly, based on the number of calls and requests. If we are having to deny very many rides, ideally we don't deny rides. So if we are denying a percentage or a large percentage of the requests, then it'll be a quick turnaround. We'll definitely get somebody in. We usually like to get them trained for a couple of weeks, and then we will make those adjustments as we go.
Gotcha. Very good. Now, when it comes to Piattran and its presence in DeWitt County, how much did you have to rely on, or did you even rely on Showbus and kind of seeing how they operated? Was that at all part of the planning process for you folks?
We really haven't had a lot of communication with Showbus. I have spoken with Laura a couple times via email. We are going to acquire 2 additional vehicles from Showbus to utilize in the DeWitt County area. So we have been communicating back and forth about that. Luckily, Encore has provided me a little bit of information about the service. We have gotten some pretty good feedback from the residents of DeWitt County about Showbus's service. So not a lot of communication with Showbus, but I feel like we've gotten a fair amount of information from everybody else.
Yeah. Well, and I'll tell you what, I know that partnership with Encore, a lot of folks really watching for that. That was a big, I know a big piece of, what is this new service going to do? Is that going to be a part of it? I'm sure that's an ease of mind for a lot of people.
Oh, absolutely. And like I said, I had the lucky experience of going up there a couple of weeks ago and being able to tour the facility and met with some of the staff, and kudos to them. They seem like they do an amazing job, and yeah, we are very, very excited about that opportunity. So
what is seeing that facility and just knowing how they operate? How does that help you, in preparing to serve that agency?
Oh, it's a big plus. We have the luxury right now of, we provide a lot of transportation for the Piatt County Mental Health Center. We also provide transportation for DSC over in Champaign. So being able to see the facility, just meeting a couple of their employees, our drivers are excited. It's always the best part about this job is meeting the public. Prior to starting here, I started back in September of 2011, and wow. I worked retail for 19 years before I did this job. And I don't know if anybody's ever worked retail, but not always the most thankful job in the world. And I had gone home. I'd had a rough day one day, and I told my wife, I had 2 young daughters at the time, and I told my wife, I said, why isn't there a job out there someplace where you get paid just to help people? And it seemed like a far stretch at the time, but that's exactly what we do. We provide a service to help people, whether it be get them to doctor's appointments, whether it's somebody that's maybe unfortunately been in a car accident and they can't drive temporarily, or they've had a surgery that they have to go back and forth to rehab, or maybe maybe their age doesn't allow them to drive anymore, or maybe there is something, a disability of some sort that doesn't allow them to drive. It's a very thankful job. I've always said my worst day in public transportation is better than my best day in retail. So
you got that right. You got that right for sure. Mr. Gadbury, 1 minute with you, sir. What I missed today, you want to put out there for us?
Well, I think we've covered a lot of important stuff. Like I said, I think the biggest keys is to check out our website, piattran.org. Lots and lots of useful information there. If anybody has any questions, please don't hesitate to call us. And again, the phone number is 217-762-7821. We've got a great office staff. Everybody, like I said, we are extremely excited about the service.
Now, when they call that number, will they speak to a person? Is there an automation process? What does that sound like?
Oh, no, we're old school. You call us, we'll pick up the phone and talk.
All right, very good. Spell Piattran for us, Tim, so folks know how to find that website and find you on social media.
Okay, again, it's Piattran, one word.
All right, Piattran, and they come to DeWitt County on July 1. Tim, good to talk to you today. Thanks for making time for us.
Hey, thank you again. I appreciate it, and we are extremely excited about the opportunity to serve the folks of DeWitt County.
That is Tim Gadbury, Piattran, our guest on the Zoom here for this morning. The morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Network News is now. WHOW.